mainly see three areas. So first of all, it's the open food processing area. Then we come into the packed food area. And in the third area, we have the pallet handling area, where Martijn is our specialist in.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So, talking about food applications and food industry at all, what are the current market trends in this area?
Yeah, we see in general, Stefan, an interesting question because, Interroll is already there for 60 years, so Interroll has seen many evolutions in the market. What we are seeing currently in the market, of course, we all order pizzas at night or, some food. So the e-commerce is not just there for the fashion today, but also for food. So you can order anything today, Uber Eats or whatever you can do. You can order anything you want. But you can also imagine that this has a huge impact behind the scenes in the logistic area. The complete supply chain there is changed the past 5 years.
Well, I agree with you. Definitely in the last year, in the last 13, 14, 15 months since we are in the pandemic, I have also experienced myself that I have changed my behavior of ordering even when it comes to food.
Yeah.
So what are the consequences out of that?
Well, you see in general in the complete logistic and in the supply chain that everybody orders a single piece. I can order tomorrow my glasses and it will be there tomorrow morning 9 o'clock at my home place. But the impact there is huge. Because on the other hand, we also see that companies, they don't want to have a lot of stock, for example, not a lot of stock positions. They also want to have new collection every time, maybe 10 collections a year. So in the complete supply chain, it has an impact on also the investment, on delivery time, on efficiency, on everything. So, and there of course Interroll had some ideas about it, how to solve these kind of solutions. Okay,
but what are the unique buying reasons for a customer to use Interroll products?
Well, first of all, Interroll is already there in the market for at least 6 years. So we have built up a certain reputation. You can see that we have invested and are still investing in all kinds of plants around the globe to make all the products available in all countries. So that's of course something we have a very solid house to say to build up our innovations on. And the past years we are listening to the customer. We listen to the pain of the customer to try to find out, okay, what is happening? What is going to happen in the 6 months or in the 2 years or in the 5 years in front of us? And we have listened to this also the past 5 years. So we came up with a complete program of solutions based on a complete platform strategy we have. So everything that we do in Interroll, first of all, it is a proven concept. We have a long-term vision, and this we combine, and we have this very innovative products as well. But if we talk now a little bit more into in the food processing area, what's happening over there, and then specifically about the hygienic part, because I wash my hands like 10 times a day, but I can imagine, in factories it will be a different kind of process.
Well, when we are talking about your food application, I would say the pallet handling is at the end of the line.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. This is actually the area where I'm also very familiar with. So when we are talking about the open food processing area, we are talking about the area where the food is not protected by a package. So a food product may be lying directly on the conveyor.
Completely open.
Completely open, yeah, because it gets processed in there. So it doesn't matter if we are talking about meat, poultry, seafood, or vegetables and fruits, or even bakery things. So each of these different food products, they are differently risky regarding the contamination with microbial contaminations and pathogens. And here, when we are talking about hygiene, it is always, I would say, a fight against the contamination of pathogens. So pathogens are actually bacteria which make you sick, and a fruit producer does not want to have pathogens in his food product.
So what about the shelf life? How does it work then? I mean, can you deepen out a little bit this process?
So the amount of pathogens which are inside a food product before it gets packed and sealed is somehow an indicator of the shelf life. So if you have a highly contaminated food product, you will have a very short shelf life.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, and shelf life is very important nowadays. We are talking about e-commerce food. If you are able to provide a longer shelf life, you can also reach markets which require a longer transportation distance much easier than if you have a product which has a very short shelf life. So this brings the food producers also some flexibility. But on the other hand, and this is for me personally the most important thing, if I buy food, I do not want to have any microbial contamination in it, because it is a risk to get sick.
Yeah, that is an interesting subject. But how can we avoid these kind of things? How can we, do we have solutions for that? Or?
Well, when we are talking about a hygienic food process, I always say we need to think about two different things. First of all, the hygienic design of the equipment where the food isn't getting contact with. And secondly, and this is something many people do not really consider very often, this is the hygienic process.
Okay, but can you describe the design a little bit more? Is it to explain a little bit better?
So what is hygienic design? Very simply said, everything which can be cleaned in an easy and efficient way is, in my opinion, hygienic design.
So cleaning the table, in your opinion, is like?
It depends. If the table has a smooth surface and is easy to wipe and flush down, yes, then I would say the surface at least is a hygienic design. So it really depends on the type of equipment, if it is a good or a bad hygienic design. So as an example, when I'm talking about a drum motor, here we had really a lot of innovative ideas to make this to a hygienic design. So we have a drum motor which has been designed according to EHEC regulations. EHEC is the European Hygienic Engineering Design Group, where experts come together and they write regulations of how should a hygienic equipment look like. And what we have done here, for example, we have very smooth surfaces. We do not use any screws or any edges where dirt and debris could catch on. Between the end housings, we use a hygienic sealing which close the metal on metal gap, so as efficient as possible. If you don't have a gap between two metal parts, there is no risk for debris or also microbial growth to get into this gap. And all these things together, combined with the way that the electric motor is inside the drum, completely hermetically sealed with an IP69K sealing system. That means that you can even clean the drum motor with high pressure water jets up to 80 bar pressure. This makes the complete drum motor very, very hygienic.
So there is no oil inside? Nothing at all? Or is it like oil free, or what is it?
Traditional drum motors in the past, still today, are equipped with oil, but you are right. There is also a risk which customers or end users and food producers do not want. They do not want to have foreign bodies or external contaminations, for example, from lubricants. Here we use permanent magnetized rotors inside a servo motor, which is very energy efficient, and due to the fact that we generate a way lower heat losses like comparable other motor technologies, we do not have any heat issues, and this allows us to execute a drum motor completely oil-free. And simply said, if you have no oil in your drive, you cannot have an oil leakage, and that means it is 100% impossible that you have a contamination with lubricants if you use an oil-free Interroll drum motor.
So it's also good for the maintenance, I can imagine. But can you a little bit explain about the hygienic process then, a little bit more in detail, or
the
how does it work?
The hygienic process is actually very interesting, and the way of thinking in this way is quite unique and new. So we at Interroll started in 2019 to have a look into the food market. So we want to set up ourselves a little bit wider into the food industry, especially the open and hygienic food industry. And we visited a lot of end users, and we asked the end users, what are your pains? what are problems and issues nobody has ever looked at, nobody has ever solved so far. So we were able to collect a lot of things, and especially here in the meat, poultry and seafood industry, we saw a lot of potential for new developments. So when we had a look at their pains, we analyzed it, and we very often could see that these pains were generated due to bad processes which were somewhere before happening. And I think the very unique thing and the very unique approach we are currently have at Interroll is that we as an intralogistic company are not only looking to find a technical solution to move something from A to B, we also consider microbiological issues into that, and I believe, and I have not seen it so far, that any, let's say, machine building intralogistic company has combined these two worlds with each other. And our, let's say, target or our vision for the future is to reuse microbial contamination by a smart mechanical intralogistic solution.
Okay, so that means also then for your complete OEE, like your uptime from an installation, you will save a lot of time and a lot of money then basically, because you have a mechanical solution instead of the complete cleaning process you need to do normally during the day, which costs a lot of time, right?
As I already said earlier, what the end users do not want to have is pathogens or microbial contaminations.
Yeah.
So what we have seen is, what is the current solution to overcome this? The current solution are chemical cleaning agents. So, but it can be also seen in the industry that these pathogens, that these bacteria are getting more resistant against cleaning agents.
Yeah.
And also future legal requirements like the EU regulations will become also stronger. Later in 2025 for the poultry industry, there will be a huge increase on the requirements, and I personally believe that you cannot get these legal requirements fulfilled with chemical cleaning agents.
Yeah.
Because what is the outcome at the end? If you have a microbial contamination, then you need to increase the chemical aggressivity, and what happens out of that? Your equipment lifetime will go down because plastics, elastomers will be damaged by these aggressive cleaning agents. So therefore, we said we need to go a different way, and we have to solve these issues mechanically and not chemically.
So I do feel that Interroll is working on some new things there. Can you, disclose some information about some new developments we're heading for? Because you have a lot of experience, you explain a lot. So anything you can disclose already to me, or is it top secret at the moment?
So at the moment, unfortunately, I have to say it's still top secret, but I can promise you we will come up with some very interesting new developments, things the market hasn't seen before, and it is planned to be launched next year. So I can only recommend you keep an eye on the Interroll website and have a look for our new solutions we will come up next year with.
Well, Mr. Drum Motor, thank you. It's very interesting information, but I will talk to you directly, hopefully not by the website. But it says, what happens afterwards? I mean, now we have this processed food, it's somewhere still, is it already in the box then? And what happens afterwards? What's the process behind this?
Yeah, so as I already mentioned, the open food area is a very hygienic and risky area. So here the risk that the food gets polluted is very high. And then there's a certain point, we call it the primary packaging area, where the food product gets into the package and gets sealed. From that point on, there is a protection around the food, and let's say the hygienic requirements in this area where the packed food is transported is lower. But still here end users require stainless steel conveyor technology, simply because it may happen that maybe a package gets damaged and some food leaks out, and then occasionally these equipment also needs to be cleaned, way lower than it is in the open food area, but still there is a certain demand on it. And when we talk about the primary packaging, we normally assume, or in most cases, you have the single food product packed,
Yeah.
And then you have normally very small unit loads, which is then moved on a conveyor, and here you normally require a very closed conveying surface. For example, you can use a modular belt in here. And here you have to be also flexible. You have to go straight up, down, or in curves through your plant, depending on the room and the space which is available. And then you come to a so-called secondary packaging process, where the single units, the smaller units, may get packed into a carton box. And here, this is an interesting area as well. As soon as you have a defined carton box with a defined size, this can be then transported via roller conveyors. And
what type of roller are you using there? I mean, it's like...
Yeah, so what we can offer here, what we have in our portfolio, these are rollers. We call them EC5000. This is the
that's
series.
an interesting one. Yeah.
And in combination with a multi-control, we are able to build roller conveyors which can be used with zero pressure accumulation. So zero pressure accumulation means that you have defined zones with rollers, which are more or less as big as the size of your package, and you can accumulate boxes on your roller conveyor, but these boxes will not touch each other. So this is a very gentle handling of the boxes, but also this is a very energy efficient way of handling the boxes, because you only require energy when the box really has to move. As soon as the box is connected, you do not require energy. And in combination with this zero pressure accumulation technology, you can bring the carton boxes to the end of the line. And here we come then to the area where these boxes need to get put on a pallet. And once they are on the pallet, I would say we enter the palletizing world.
Yeah.
And maybe you can say much more about this.
Interesting process that you just explained. And it's like, you know, it's one story. So then we come from the box, we go into the palletizer, and this palletizer of course can be like a robot palletizer, it can be a layer palletizer. You have all kind of equipment to stack the pallet, and from there of course we go into the it's all on a pallet. Yeah? You have wooden pallets, you have plastic pallets, and there Interroll has a lot of solutions. That's correct.
But why Interroll? What makes Interroll different in the pallet handling world?
Well, first of all, Interroll's in the market for 6 years. We said this at the beginning when we start, discussing this topic. So we have a lot of experience of material handling in general, and we've seen that we have been, and we are getting even more, being very successful with our modular pallet platform for MCP. And what we did now is we asked to many customers, okay, what about if we bring pallet handling to you as well, with the same kind of quality and the same kind of maintenance, the same kind of easiness to install the products. And then many of our customers said, yes, it could be interesting, but Interroll, you will be the last in the market, so do your best. And I think the past years we have shown that we have a fantastic, great platform, which can be also again connected again with the multi-control, for example, but also there in this platform we can use like 48 volt technology.
Well, me as an electrical engineer and a very technical driven person, when I hear pellet, I'm thinking about 1,000 kilograms, 1,200 kilograms. You just mentioned 48 volts. So how can you move such a heavy load in an efficient way?
Well, in a specifically efficient way, because you do not want to move a pallet of 100 kilogram on a conveyor which is preserved for 1,250 kilogram. So we have a complete range of products where we can transport pallets with different applications. And again, you need to know, first of all, is it for buffering pallets or is it transportation of pallets? I can imagine if you move your pallets from the processing food area to a warehouse, you need driven conveyors. And when you are in this warehouse, you have like all kind of possibilities. If you have a big warehouse, you can put the pallets on the floor, but you can also move them in some rackings, and then you can use like our dynamic storage part, the pallet flow.
So will gravity let Mother Nature do the work?
Yes, Mother Nature is doing the work. And you know, Mother Nature is existing already for decades, centuries, I mean more than centuries. So we know how it works. If I drop this, it will fall on the floor. That's a fact, right? If you have a pallet on a certain slope, it will go easy, and with the right products we have, we can buffer pallets in a very, very high density position in area. So with pallet flow, it is the most easiest way to store your pallet. Of course, the quality of the pallet is of importance, that it should be good.
And do you have some references you can name?
We have thousands of references in Pallet Flow. I mean, Pallet Flow is a product we have over decades in our program. We have installed them all over the world, from New Zealand to the Nordics, from, you know, in Australia, in Asia, everywhere. So we're working with the biggest company in the world. I'm not going to mention names in this area, but I can mention the biggest companies, beverage companies in the world are using our Pallet Flow. So again, a product which has it's a proven concept and still very, very successful product. Yeah.
And when we are talking about electrically driven modules and pallet conveyors, so what is so unique with Interroll to use them?
Easiness, again, that is one of our major topics. You know, all the products that we develop at Interroll are easy to install, are of course proven, and we have all kind of different. We even use your drum motor in 400 volt as part of our solutions. So we have like 400 volt solutions, and most of the time 400 volt is used when you are working with a little more heavy pellets, like say 1000 or 1250 kilos. If we go to more the lighter versions up to 250 kilogram, we either use the Easy 5000 rollers to drive the pellet. And then again, you have a very, very efficient solution. So you can imagine if you combine 48 volt and 400 volt in one installation, because on one side you have empty pellets to be brought away in an area, and you have more heavy pellets, you can also combine this. And this combination again, you know, is the magic world. It's like the multi-control, can both of them control.
Well, I can imagine me as a drum motor specialist, one of the very important unique selling points for drum motor is space saving. So I can imagine if you are able to have the electric motor inside the pellet roller, or if you have the EC5000 inside a pellet roller, then you are also very space saving, very narrow with your pellet conveyors.
Definitely. And then again, it's also quite easy to maintain. First of all, they're Interroll products, so we've just discussed that we have done it over the past decades already. And indeed, if you have like the pellet drive, or you have like the EC5000 installed in your conveyor, you don't have on the side no gear motors. So also on your maintenance part, you know, you have less maintenance to do, because these are all concepts we already have in our program for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that means what I know from the other products, I can imagine that also the pellet conveyors we have are easy and plug and play, or?
We can say, and we are working more and more, we see that the industry and of course our dear system integrators, our customers are asking for more easy solutions, because nowadays they want to have solutions which they can say, hey, tomorrow, or maybe not tomorrow, but next year I want to expand my building. So I want to buy everything. It's like a Lego brick, right? You know Lego. You played with it, I play with it, in the past, not anymore. But then, of course, you can build all these components together in such a way that it's like compatible, it's backwards compatible. You can very say next year I'm going to extend my building and just, you know, install the new products, plug them into the multi-control in combination sometimes with a PLC, because that again it's demanding. It's quite, how can I say this? It demands on it's quite, the layout is the process you need to start with. You have a layout, and from there you discuss what kind of possibilities I have.
So when I hear now all these things about the pallet handling world, and of course I know the world before this area, we can as a conclusion probably say that Interroll is able to deliver technical interlogistics solutions from the beginning at the open food processing area till the end of the line, really when the pallet goes onto the truck and goes to the next supermarket.
And not just the mechanical part, Stefan, but also the complete, you know, it's a platform-based technology we offer to the customers. So we can deliver really from A to Z, and this makes it so the modularity, the serviceability, we can say indeed that we can offer the complete solution. Yeah, that's a good conclusion, I can say. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. I really learned a lot about pallet handling today, and
well,
very
me too.
nice to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't have to read the book anymore. You explain me everything in this half an hour. So thank you, and I hope everybody you enjoyed our little conversation here, and hopefully we can see you again in the next session, or maybe even in a trade show. Thank you.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Vâng, cảm ơn những thông tin bổ ích từ ông Stephen Hamacher và ông Martin Smith. Tiếp nối chương trình, tôi xin trân trọng kính mời ông Narin Latanan là trưởng phòng kinh doanh của công ty Interroll tại Thái Lan sẽ có phần giới thiệu với quý vị về tự động hóa dây chuyền sản xuất thực phẩm với các sản phẩm và giải pháp từ Interroll nhằm giúp phân tích chuyên sâu về các giải pháp, sản phẩm mà Interroll đang cung cấp phục vụ cho quy trình sản xuất, chế biến thực phẩm và đồ uống một cách hiệu quả, tiết kiệm chi phí và thời gian. Xin kính mời ông ạ.
Yes, hello everyone, and good afternoon for the audience. And my name is Nalin Lotanan, and I am the sales manager for Interroll. And as you know that we've been in Asia for many years ago, and Interroll Thailand is established for almost 30 years in the past, and we supply the global. We are the global intralogistic provide equipment providers as a global. And today, as you just see from the presentation in between the Stefan and the Matthias talking about the trains and the drum motor and the pallet handling, which is all dealing with food processing and also the how can we deliver the goods and as the unit and the pallet handling to from the production to the warehouse. And I will give you some more detail about the product in difference of the groups. And before going that, I would like to mention about say something about the product, about the company. I mean, how can we been working and what we are going to do in the futures, and what kind of product that you can be finding in our websites and also in the market at the moment. All right, this is the strategy platform that Interroll using for the globals, and this is the platform strategy is can say that we are dividing the product into 4 groups. First is the rollers, and the second is the drive and controls, and also the conveyor and the sorter, and the last one is the pallet handlings. All of the product groups, we are thinking of the strategies that using and producing as a platform. You can see lower platform, drum motor platform, DC platform, and modular platform, and as well as the pallet platform. Why do we have to using this strategy platform? Because we want to have the to make our product to be like a modular and the scalable and the flexibility for what, and this one to serve and to give the customer, even you are the conveyor maker, system integrator, or even you are the end user, you can get our product and can serve for the faster installation and easier for the maintenance. And doing by modulars, it can reduce and to be a short delivery lead time and easier for control the quality, which is we can deliver the highest quality product to you. And this is what the platform strategy is meaning. And as well as what is make us to do the platform and to adapt and to adjust, develop our strategy, because nowadays we are dealing with the global competitors and global stakeholder, which is has to drive us. It's not we can control by ourselves, but the outside is the world that control us. Because now the world and the end user, even the customer, they require the faster delivery lead time and everything has to be customization and also globalized. It mean that you are here, you also can sell, or you can dealing with your customer in another way in where else in the world. And also for the industrial 4 digitalization is, and this one is not run away for your product and your system and your business at the moment. So Interroll has to be dealing and has to be adapt and develop our product to deal with the digitalization as well. And for the coming of e-commerce and the online service, the goods, the volume of the goods that has to be delivered every day is a huge number. It's not a big one, but it's huge. It's a lot more. It's many times that bigger than in the past. So how can you have the product? How can you have the system to deal with the huge of number of the goods that you have to delivery? So faster installation and faster delivery that had to make your business is go and run faster than the need of the customer. And as well as we are thinking of the sustainable solution, which is modular platform, is can be answer of your as our product. And the business models, we are positioning our company in all around the world to be as an enable what? Enable the market and enable ourselves, because we have the group of the customer, including end user, whoever you are one of the, you may be one of the our group of the customer, you may be end user, you may be the global player, and you may be the local player. As in Vietnam as well, we have to deal with the conveyor maker, and we have to deal with the end user. Whatever you are, we have to serve you. In the thinking of the market, because the market is a change in every day, because the dynamic of the market is can make us to thinking of the product, to be testing, to be have the solution and have the develop the product to serve you. And also we make the closely, and we make close and relationship with the customer. We have to make understanding on the network and what is the customer requirement. We will make and produce the product to serve them. As this concept, we are going to have actually we have the campaigns that what we say roller on Interroll. This one can make the community for the all around the world, that the customer has to can be connecting to each other. You are in Vietnam or you are in Thailand. If we bake the community, you can know that what Interroll supply to any customer, and any solution that we have reference in Thailand, you also can get all information about this as well. And the technical partner, technology partner, yeah, as you know, Interroll is the company who working and who producing the intralogistic equipments. So the business, what is relating to this kind of business, we are make the the connectivity together with them. For example, we have in Europe the system integrator who supply on this. We can help them to make the system together with other equipment as well. So Interroll product will have to be adapt, will have to be developed in that way also. This one is about technology partner, where is your in the world we can connecting to all of those. For the market, and during the past, we have increasing on the kind of the business and the industry itself. The food and beverage is one of, and the major of the industry that we are focusing on, because the food and beverage is one of the industry that's rapidly growth. So today I would like to present you and just connect from the Mr. Matthias and Stefan. I would pay attention and will be emphasized on the product that to serve on the food and beverage other than other areas. So we can start the product in productions, which is I would like to mention about the drum motor, which is can give you some idea because we are supplying the material handling in the open food industry. The drum motor is one of the solutions that we are develop the product to be easily to use and producing in the modular as well. And this one is a hygienic, and this one is also can be touchable and can be washable. What is the requirement for the drum motor that we are using in the production? The requirement of this kind of product, because we are pay attention to have less contamination, because for the drum motor, as you see in our technical catalog, maybe you can see that all of drum motor is have less contamination angles. So all the material that we make to reduce all contamination when you are using. And we also, the customer also require the higher torque. So the drum motor can be made and designed for any kind of torque that you are required in your machine and in your conveyor system, and also robust and efficiency, as well as the drum motor is also have a lot of efficiency, and really efficiency because it's compared with the gear motor that have to be lost in terms of the mechanical efficiency. Drum motor is directly driving on your belt, so the efficiency is more, and also accuracy, and as well as for the hygienic. Yeah, for the hygienic, this is dealing with the EHET standard as well. I would like to show you some photo that we have referenced in Thailand that we installed drum motor onto the machine, onto the conveyor, which is saying that they all replacing all the gear motor to be drum motor. This can deal with a high pressure of water is more than 80 bar. This is a project that we replace all the gear motor to be using drum motor. And drum motor also can adapt and can using with any belt, modular belt. So this project is installed in Thailand in 3 years ago. And until now, the customer is still using, and the maintenance cost is very less, and the efficiency is made higher than gear motor, and as well as this one is can save you for the power consumption as well. All right. Okay, this is one of the sample that we can show you. But in Thailand or in many countries, we have a lot of this kind of references that you can ask from ourselves to understand more about the technical, in terms of technical about drum motor. And from production, that is, we have drum motor for conveying the open food. And what about the packaging? After we pack the food into the packaging, what Interroll can serve you for the product, that bringing your container or bringing your packaging from the production to be the palletizer. On this product, we call MCP. At this MCP, we using the rollers and using the roller drive that we now developing. At the moment, we have the series of EC5000, and also the control. We're using multi-control to make modules. In this slide, you can see all the module is like a Lego. We make the module like a Lego. This one for the standardized and easy for you to using our module to connect and to make the layout, and very easy like a Lego. You can connect one module to one module very easy, and this one can reduce the lead time for our production and reduce the installation time for yourself as well. And also it's complete set, which is come with the more rollers and the roller dice and also the control. What control is combined in our MCP module? It is a card, a control card. At the moment, we have the multi-control card combined with the DC platform that we call EC5000. All the equipment here will make this kind of modules we call MCP. What the requirement and what you can gain from making equipment to be the modular, you can gain more efficiency because we are using 24 and 48 volt for driving, and you can get higher throughput. And this one in the future, so maybe in the future you need a higher throughput. Also in MCP, you can adapt, you can be retrofit, and you can be changed all the time for making the throughput is higher. And also as fast delivery because of we are making in terms of a platform and modulars. And we also supply the heavy duty belt conveyor, which is you can see in this. The belt conveyor we combine with the drum motor using, or even you can choose or you can select for the gear motor as well. And flexibility by using the side guide and the sensor. Every model will come together with the sensor and the control card. And good scalability is mean when you want to change and when you want to adjust or change the layout of your material flow, this one can serve you and can give you a very easy to change and to extend the layout or reduce the layout or change the layout. And because it's come up with the roller die, which is driving by the poly V, which is can give you a very silent, is less than 68 decibel for the sound, and also can use in the profile and can be interfacing with any control by Profinet. And also this one can prove already that you can reduce the TOC. It is about the cost of owner, total cost of owner, because we can guarantee that the maintenance and the replacement of this modular is lesser than using the gear motor. And next is from the packagings. This is some of the reference and some of the solution that we are providing in the market. Maybe you on the first picture, we're using our MCP to be using as the sorter. This one we come by 18 HPD high diverter to using and making the sorter for the 32 destination. And as well as MCP can be combined with the machine, a packaging machine, and also combined with a pallet conveyor as well. So you can see, and this one is one of the from the robot to production, from the production to the robotized, and this one is the same. The connection between robot and the MCP also can use via PLC, and PLC can be talk and can be communicate with our control card as well. And this one is make your control is less complicating. So this one can prove already. And this is for the packagings. And next, I would like to say something about the after we deliver the packaging and we deliver the box or the carton, whatever, to be on the to connect with the pallet station by using the robotized. And after here, how to make the pallet? How can you deliver the pallet from the robot to the warehouse? There is many ways. One way is a modular pallet conveyor, which is in this middle that I want to mention about this one for the emphasize on this pallet handling. MCP, we using MCP to convey the pallet, which is talking about the 1 ton or 1.2 ton from the station to the warehouse. And after the warehouse, how can you storage? Yes, you have the racking, but Interroll would like to introduce for the dynamic storage, which is using the gravity lane. And also this one can be combined with the automation system as well. And what is the tool system that can help you to improve and make your conveying system and our warehouse system and the storage system to be automatic also. Some example that we install in Thailand as well will be showing you in the next slide. But I would like to show you for some of the pallet conveyor. It will be using the modular concept. Every module, even for chain conveyor, roller conveyor, transfer car, turntable or transfer unit, it will become with the standard. Whatever you use in the standard pallet, you can use with our product. And it's the same thing that I mentioned in MCP. MPP also making the connection between conveyor and other equipment by using the connect on our control card. And another alternative that you can have motor gears, and also you can using our a pallet drive as well for the driving unit. And this is one of the example that you can use for the pallet drive unit. It will be using the drum motor and will be combined with the rollers and roller using the tangential chain. When you can use this one, whenever you want to have the lower profile and you want to have the more efficiency using the direct driving, you can select to use the pallet modular platform by using the pallet conveyor as well. And pallet conveyor, how is controlled? The pallet conveyor on pallet handling, you can have the same concept like MCP by using the conveying speed is about 0.2 as a maximum, and the communication from to control the roller drive pallet drive will be passed by PC 6000, but this one for the pallet drive is about the 400 volt. But for the communication, we need to have the multi-control pass this one to use with multi-control to connect with other connections, other communication. For example, for the step that you can give the signal to PLC, pass the multi-control like this. And also you can consider to use ZPA software to make the higher throughput also. And combination of pallet handling and come to the warehouse, I would like to introduce you for the gravity pallet flow, which is dealing with all the gravity, there is no power consumption. But after the pallet conveyor and once you storage, this is the gravity flow we call pallet flow. We will have the angle onto your racking, and we will have the modules onto your rackings without any power consumption, because your pallet will be drive from loading area to unloading area by gravity and by the weight of the pallet itself. How it's working, to show you to see and to be imagine on how it's working, I would just want to show you with this video that we have installed in 2016 in Thailand. Combination of the pallet conveyors and pallet flow and the stacker crane. It's very rare to have this kind of system, but once the customer using this, they can have benefits without power consumption for the main storage. For the gravity flow, we can control the speed. This company, they're producing the coconut product, and which is the fully liquid fruit is first out, and liquid the system very sustainable, cannot be break down, and the solution of pallet flow and the stacker can very suitable for them, because once they have to deliver the goods from the storage, they have to be cannot stop the machine, and they also have to using the area in very compact. Okay, two things that we can combine and using pallet flow. First is you can use the pallet flow together with the manual, which is using with forklift, and also you can also using with the stacker crane, which is we call ASIS, with the combination with the pallet flow. What is the benefit of this system? Because we are developed day by day. We have the center of excellence to adapt and to develop the product, and nowadays you can get more benefit than in the past, because we have equipment and device to help you to control easier for the pallet flow. And also we can make the accumulation for the 20 ton for one of the single safety separator, and as well as for this pallet conveyor, we are thinking of the safety. Many customer and many reference in Thailand. You are in Vietnam, and if you want to see some reference that can adapt with you can search in our website as well. You can find many customer and many type of product that using our pallet flow solid. Even in some product, some project in Vietnam, we also have is more than 10 projects that we already installed in Vietnam as well. But mostly that is the food processing and the food product. And also some of those, they are using the pallet flow onto the warehouse and dispatch area also, you can consider. And for the storage solution, and as I just presenting, you can combine the dynamic storage with transfer car and stacker crane and also the conveyor system. In all of these products, all of this system can make your warehouse, I think, is more efficiency in the future. And if you want to maximize and to have the first in first out to control and to have the higher capacity of the storage, you may be consider on our system that I just showed. And this one is another a video that can show you what is Interroll providing in the market regarding to the pallet handling, from the palletizer to the warehouse and to the storage system. Please see them this. This is the transfer car pick up the pallet from the robot and move to the main storage. The stacker crane that Interroll supplying, we also put the conveyor onto the carrier too. The speed of the pallet that flow onto the the pallet flow lane. The speed is be controlled lesser than 0.3 meters per second because we're using the magnetic speed controllers. The magnetic speed controller is the one equipment that we have, only Interroll have, and also it is the patent that other company and others supplier there is no this kind of MSC. This can show you can using the stacker crane combination with the pallet flow and design for the pallet sortation. Yep. And the video that I show in this slide, you can find also in YouTube, and you can go to Interroll website and you can see and you can select. Other than this video, you also can see other references that can show you how can we using Interroll product into your solutions. And come to the end of my presentation. After you dealing in the warehouse, and yet in some factories you have to get the sortation. The sortation can be sort by unit handling, as I show you for using MCP. But in other business, about for example e-commerce or online business or the express business, you maybe have to require the higher speed of the sortation. We also have and providing the cross belt sorter that you can be consider. The cross belt sorter is can sort is about nowadays we adjust and we have launched the new generation of the cross belt sorter that can deal with the product. It's about 20,000 pieces per hour. And also for the detail, you can see in our website, or you can connect and you can contact our representative or the sales people to more understanding about this system. I would like to finish my presentation, and if you have the question, you can raise your hand and you can I will answer all the question that you can ask. And I would like to give this one back to the moderators to control this. And thank you, and please welcome for the question.
Cảm ơn ông Narilatanam. Tôi tin rằng với những thông tin vừa rồi, quý vị đã có ý tưởng cải thiện chất lượng thực phẩm và đồ uống thông qua giải pháp nhằm giảm khả năng nhiễm khuẩn của sản phẩm, giảm thời gian sản xuất cũng như giúp nâng cao năng lực sản xuất. Tiếp theo đây, xin mời quý vị tham gia trả lời câu hỏi tương tác cùng chúng tôi. Trên màn hình sẽ hiện lên câu hỏi về sản phẩm, giải pháp ngày hôm nay. Quý vị có thể lựa chọn cùng lúc nhiều đáp án để chúng tôi nắm rõ hơn nhu cầu của quý vị và hỗ trợ quý vị trong thời gian tới.
Can I add something? In the screen that you are seeing, we have the office in Vietnam as well, and the people who are you can connect is Mr. Tan is our sales and to take care in the Vietnam market. You can see his contact showing in the screen. And for myself, I located in Thailand and based in Thailand. But anyway, you can contact me anytime, and you are welcome for any question. And you can send me an email as well. Thank you.
Xin cảm ơn quý vị đã dành thời gian trả lời các câu hỏi tương tác của chúng tôi. Sau khi nghe bài trình bày của diễn giả, hẳn quý vị đã có những câu hỏi về sản phẩm và giải pháp được giới thiệu ngày hôm nay. Quý vị có bất kỳ câu hỏi nào có thể đánh trực tiếp vào ô Q&A hoặc nhấp vào ký hiệu bàn tay để tương tác với diễn giả của chúng tôi. Hiện tại, ban tổ chức đã nhận được một số câu hỏi của khách tham dự xoay quanh các sản phẩm của Interroll. Buổi hỏi đáp của chúng tôi ngày hôm nay sẽ có sự tham gia của ông Narin từ văn phòng Interroll Thái Lan và ông Trương Công Thành từ văn phòng Việt Nam. Tôi xin phép được đọc câu hỏi đầu tiên. Như sau ạ. Could you please share some of the latest conveyance solution like change direction or subtle conveyance? Kunaran, please.
Sorry, I can't hear the question clearly. Can you ask the question again?
Yes, I will repeat again. Could you please share some latest direction or
All right. Okay. I can get some wording to sharing with you as a changing direction. So as you see in my presentation, we have the two kind of conveyor system. One is the unit conveyor, and another one is a pallet conveyor. For unit handling conveyor, we have the HPD we call high performance diverter, and also for the HPD can change the direction of the box in 45 degree, 30 degree, or 80 degrees with the high speed. And another unit is called transfer unit, which is can transfer the boxes in 80 degree direction changing. But for transfer unit, it will be less throughput than HPD. And about the pallet conveyors, we have the transfer as well, but dealing with the pallet, this one we cannot expect that the speed is high because we're dealing with 1 ton or 1.2 ton. So we have two kind of unit. First is transfer. The second is turntable. You can select one of those for your orientation of the pallet. The direction can be also changing as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Naran.
Yeah.
Narin, I will come to the second question. What makes Interroll different and Interroll UK selling points in the industry? Narin, please.
Okay. In the past, I can say that Interroll is a global and number one in the global material handling providing in intralogistics. What is make us to be different from other? Because we have developed the product to serve the end user and the customer requirement, and we have the COE called Center of Excellence. In any product, in any kind of product, we have one center of excellence. For example, for drum motor, we have developed center in Germany, and for the dynamic storage, we have the center of excellence located in France. And all of these 8 units we can launch, and we have those of the people to develop and doing the testing and adapt and developing and do the research for any kind of product to launch the new product and to serve for the requirement for the customer, which is, I think this one can make Interroll is difference because we have particularly center of excellence to develop the product in any field. Drum motor, conveyors, pallet conveyor, dry mix storage, and sorter, all of these kind of product we have center to develop itself in Europe and in US. I think this should make confidence to all of you to select Interroll product. Yep.
Thank you, Kunarin. I will move to the next question. I would like to ask if Interroll provide equipment lines for pharmaceutical food and beverage factory.
Yes, we have. But in pharmaceutical industry, we consider two types. The pharmaceutical is about in productions. In the production, it has to be considered in a machine where can be using our drum motors. And if you're talking about the pharmaceutical in terms of the conveying and packing or picking operations, we can dealing with the modular conveyor platform we call MCP, and this one we serve in Thailand also to have the conveyors for the picking area for the pharmaceutical industry, and this one can help the customer to improve the sortation and the picking operations also, because the box size and the carton and the piece of the product of pharmaceutical is very varied. So the belt conveyor is one of the solutions that we're providing for this kind of industry in the picking area. Yep.
Thank you, Kunarin. I would like to ask if drum motor is durable. Hello, Kunarin.
You mean durable or suitable or yeah?
Drum motor is durable.
Okay. Durable is, yeah, I have to say yes. The drum motor we had the warranty period for drum motor, and we try to make any material to assembly to be producing to be a drum motor. We are considering to using the high-end qualities of the equipment, and in terms of user and in terms of the system integrator, if considering our drum motor durable or not, this one has to depend on the information that the customer and the end user give feedback to our sales, our engineering, to select the right solution of the drum motor. Because we have several of the drum motor, the gear ratio, if we selecting the gear ratio with is not serve or not suitable for the solution or the application, the drum motor is also can be say that it's not suit. But if you providing the right solution, the right information to us, we can select the right drum motor to you. And from the past and from the video that you see, the drum motor can run 24 hours or more than 20 hours a day. In long term, it's about 2 years without any maintenance, just only changing the lubricants. Only for the other parts, for the main part, there is no change, also can help. But if you give the wrong information and we select the wrong application for the drum motor, that can be considered is not, how do you say, is can maybe is have the less torque as required, can be torque in this way. But I can guarantee that if you choosing the right for your application, our drum motor is very durable.
Okay, thank you, Kunarin. To the next question, how does working on the pallet flow?
The pallet flow is working. We consider the pallet flow is a gravity flow, and this one we can say that pallet flow dealing with the gravity from loading side to unloading side. We will put the roller module length in angle is about 4% for the slope, and once you loading the pallet, whatever kgs, maybe 200 kg until 1 ton, 1000 kg, it will be flow by gravity. And how can we deal with the consistency of the speed? We have to install the magnetic speed controller that we are using in every position of the pallet. This one can reduce the acceleration of the pallet, and to protect and to control the speed of the pallet is not very fast, and this one can make the safety. And also this pallet floor you can find in YouTube, and you can find the more information in our website, and even you can contact to me directly, because I can share with you about the video that can give you more understanding about how is pallet flow working. Yeah, but we have some unique equipment to make pallet flow, because many some of the factors that we have to thinking about the pallet flow, because it cannot be stuck in the middle, otherwise the end user will be not happy with using this one. Yeah, please contact me if you want more information about pallet flow. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kunarin. We also received a quite long question. I will read slowly for you. I see Interroll is very strong at the pallet movement and storage, including sortation, ASRS with pallet flow rack and preferred. Can you please share with us if you have ASRS?
Okay. Is this about the ASRS stagger crane?
Yeah.
In Asia, not very much using stagger crane together with the pallet flow. Is very less reference, but in nowadays, once we success in the project in Thailand, the customer more and more interested to be using pallet flow with the ASRS stagger crane. And we have some inquiry in Thailand to work out and been working with this. And I believe that in the future, pallet flow can be one of the strong and the alternative that the end user may be thinking to make it in automation and combine with stagger crane. But in the detail of designing ASRS with the pallet flow, we need to discuss about the pallet and how many diff and the product that the customer want to store, and to design the most suitable dip that the customer can use and don't have the empty space, and can maximize the capacity of the pallet storage as well. And it's about the LIFO. Yeah, we call pushback. In the past, we never have ASRS with the stagger crane with the pushback solution, because pushback is had to rely on the force that the equipment had to push and to be enforced by the pallet in the lane. But I have never seen the pallet, the stagger crane can have more force to apply with the pushback. No, for this application, I don't think in terms of the stagger crane can use and combine with pushback together with the stagger crane. I never have and never see before. And for the stagger crane and the cardan flow, yeah, we consider is we also have the cardan flow like a mini load, but this one, the stacker can be considered using with mini load by the boxes. And also the size of the boxes could be 300, 400, or maximum is 600 to be storage on the current floor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kunaran. Naren, can I move to next question? Could you please compare drum motor with sheaf motor, and have you supplied the drum motor for fruit and vegetable in Vietnam market?
Yes, and a drum motor as
either.
it could be considered the gear motor, and
Yeah.
also drum motor can be using in the same application. But what I can say that the drum motor is direct drive to the belt, and so we can say that drum motor is not loose for the power consumption and the power through the mechanical loss, because drum motor is direct drive onto the belt. And I quite confident that drum motor have more efficiency rather than gear motors in terms of driving efficiency, and also in terms of the hygienic drum motor. As you see, we can using the 80 bar of the power of the pressure to wash drum motor without protections, because drum motor is made to serve the customer for the hygienic and to reduce the contamination of the belt. And in the future, drum motor is much more efficiency, because we are going to use and reduce using of the lubricants. And once you see in the video that Stefan mentioned, we are going to use the new kind of motor, which is we can reduce the lubricants. So that means in the future we can consider there is no contamination about the lubrication. Yeah, I think future supposed to be drum motor is much more efficiency than gear motor in terms of hygienic. Yeah, but in others factor or other comparison, I think we need to get more idea from the user that what is the customer expectation for the drum motor to solve the problem that they're finding and they're facing for use when they're using the gear motor. Okay, I think this one should be answering.
Yep. I will move to the next question. Can the equipment be used in frozen seafood factory? Is there installation to transport 10 kilo pieces between?
Yeah, we have that kind of application as well. But for the drum motor, I have no information about the deep freeze, but I can find. You can drop an email to me, and I can find the deep freeze application for you. But for the MCP, for the conveyor, yes, we have the application in the deep freeze, and Interroll Group also is going to launch the food application for any product. And the Pallet floor is also can be using in the -30 degree also.
Okay. So we will send you the details of this question to your email, and you can answer, and we will send back to our attendees. Is it okay?
Yeah, for the length of the question, I will answering and reply by email. I think because we have short of the time to answer all the question by today. I think so. All the question I will get back to the question to the questioners about the question. What we try to answer all the question back to the moderators. Some question is in Vietnamese, but I would like to try to translate in English, and we try to answer according to the Vietnamese question.
Yes, okay, Mr. Kunarin, we will translate to English and send to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Kính thưa quý vị, do thời gian chương trình có hạn, đối với những câu hỏi chưa được trả lời, chúng tôi xin phép lưu lại, gửi cho diễn giả trả lời và gửi lại quý vị toàn bộ câu hỏi, câu trả lời của buổi hội thảo ngày hôm nay. Thay mặt ban tổ chức, chúng tôi xin chân thành cảm ơn sự tham dự của các diễn giả khách mời, của tất cả quý vị đã dành thời gian tham dự chương trình của chúng tôi. Bài trình bày của diễn giả ngày hôm nay sẽ được gửi đến quý vị sau chương trình. Ngoài ra, bản khảo sát đánh giá về chương trình cũng sẽ được gửi đến quý vị sau khi chương trình kết thúc. Chúng tôi mong quý vị bớt chút thời gian làm khảo sát này để giúp chúng tôi có cơ sở nâng cao chất lượng các chương trình của chúng tôi trong thời gian sắp tới. Cảm ơn quý vị. Xin hẹn gặp lại quý vị tại các sự kiện tiếp theo của triển lãm và hội thảo quốc tế về công nghệ xử lý, chế biến và đóng gói bao bì ProBac Việt Nam 2021.
Okay, thank you everyone, and hope to see you again in next webinar or in seminar.
Thank you so much, Naren.
Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Bye.